Are you tired of having your breather look like this and have oil issues dripping out the bottom, making a mess, dealing with that nonsense? Me too. That's why we're taking that cover off and replacing it with the Trask vented transmission cover. No more of this, because I'm tired of cleaning this out a few times a month. It's obnoxious.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down.
All right, guys, so there is something that I wanted to kind of go over real quick that I've noticed that a lot of other content creators haven't touched on. And that is that in 2019 and older models of the M8, so 2017, 2018, and part of 2019, Harley did not put a O-ring on the back of the oil pump. And Trask has said that if you're running the system, if you're running an oil pump, the dated oil pump that hasn't been taken out or upgraded with the newer one or upgraded with something with that seal, and it's an O-ring that goes from the back oil pump to the crankcase. Now, Trask is saying that if you run the Checkmate system and you do not have that O-ring on your oil pump, it could cause excessive bleeding of oil from the Checkmate system and out of the filter unit. So double check. If you're running a 2017, 2018, or 2019 model of Road Glide or Street Glide or anything that has the M8, verify with the shop that has done your services. If you don't know, give them a call and make sure you have the O-ring on there before you run this system, because it could cause severe issues for you and make things exponentially worse. So make sure you check it out. It's better safe than sorry. So yeah, back to the video, and apparently screaming neighbor kids. What else is new around here? Good Lord, save me. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you for coming back for yet another video. Today's a special one. I'm so excited to get rid of this problem, and that is oil blowby. I am so sick to death of taking off my breather cover, cleaning my filter because of the excess oil that I have coming from my throttle body, from the filter. And it's even gotten to the point sometimes where, you know, if I'm riding a little aggressively, higher RPMs, it's spitting oil out, hitting my leg, my wife's leg, or if she's not on there, it's hitting the saddlebag and getting all over the side of the damn saddlebag. So to fix that and to combat that issue, we are just going to cut it off at the neck, and we are going to go to the highest point possible on the oil system, and that is the top of the transmission, where the transmission cover is at. So it's pretty simple. All we need to do is vent the crank pressure in the bottom end of the bike. And we're going to do that with the help of our Trask transmission vent cover. And it's pretty ironic because Harley, when they designed the M8 model, they built in a venting system for the transmission and for the oil and for the crank pressure. But to meet EPA standards, the good old EPA, you know, total buzzkills, they're like, oh no, you're not going to vent any misted air, any oily mist air into the atmosphere. And So that's why we got stuck with a system that recycles oil back into our intake, and in doing so is going to cause long-term damage to our motorcycle engines. And it's going to get a lot of carbon deposits on the top of the piston heads, and it's no good. So as you can see, that black soot that's built up on those pistons, a lot of that is due to that recycled oil going back through the lines, through the breather bolts, and being pulled back through your throttle body. The chrome or black version of the Checkmate is going to be machined out of billet aluminum. And what makes these unique is this Boyesen valve that allows excess pressure out while maintaining a vacuum seal in the crankcase. And under the center section here of the seal is where our breather or vacuum hose line will go in from our old transmission cover, and that'll just slip right into the center cavity, and you'll pull that right through. And I'll show you how to do that when we get to that step. But first we have to take off this gasket to access all that. So I'm just using a Allen key, 3/16 Allen key to get to it. So here's what I mean by slowly but surely. We're gonna just slowly get these bolts out of here. So I'm gonna fast forward through this. We got 6 of these guys to knock out. So I'm gonna go through, get all 6 out.
It's been 84 years.
We finally got all 6 bolts out. Some of these had so much damn Loctite on it that it seriously took forever to get them out. And that's no exaggeration. Like, it took a long time. So if I were you, I would invest in a low clearance ratchet, because that was a nightmare. I seriously used a 3/16 Allen key the entire time. Some of the screws weren't bad, like these ones in the back were pretty simple to get to. It was that middle one up front that was a real pain. This one surprisingly wasn't bad. So it was really just the middle one up there in the front, and then the far right one that sits right under your pipe. So let's get this one off. I'm gonna ditch this damn thing for now. And so we'll get this off. You want to make sure you don't got any like major debris sitting around the area, because you don't want anything falling in any of these compartments or these ports when you get this cover off. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. We'll take the old one out, and we're going to be taking that breather tube out and swapping it into our new Trask cover. So that's the only part, obviously, that we're going to reuse. That and then the 6 bolts. So we'll get this out. Just kind of take a pick tool or something else, whatever you need to get that out. Make sure you don't rip it or break it, because we definitely need that. All right, so we're going to want to just slip our hose from the old one in. And you can see there's a little like lip right there. You're going to want to make sure that's snug and tight all the way in there. Let's see here. Might need to give it a little abuse to get in, pop in all the way. Some coaxing, especially if your hands are crippled like mine are. Come on, go in your home.
You just go home. That's your home. Are you too good for your home? Answer me.
There we go. Popped in, sitting flush. Got my dirty fingerprints all over that beautiful cover now. And honestly, that brings me another point. I really wanted the black one, but nobody had the damn thing in stock. So I was kind of bummed about that. And put that back on there. Make sure that's seated right way. I mean, there's only one way it can go on. Just make sure that's seated in there well and flush. All right, now it's ready to go back on. So this really is going to be the highest point of our oil system. So when we add the filament, the breather with the hose, and add an additional 6 or 8 inches up from the already highest point, the chances of oil traveling up this high and then up through the hose and then saturating the filament or the filter is pretty unlikely. So unless you don't have that O-ring on your oil pump like I was talking about at the beginning of the video. So if you don't have that issue, chances of you having oil coming up through the entire system, through the Trask system, and out the filament is pretty unlikely. All right, one important thing to add is there's going to be this gasket here on the bottom underneath your OEM transmission cover. You're going to want to pull this off. Just break it loose, pull that out, and that's going to free up our 3 ports. The far right channel is going to be our air bypass from the engine to the oil tank. The center is going to be our transmission vent on the cover. And then finally this one is just our transmission where all our gears is at. Trask calls for this to be tightened down to 110 inch-pounds. All right, guys, so you can see I got all the bolts and everything done. I went in a crisscross kind of pattern as to not damage the gasket underneath the M8. And then as far as the vent hose, I just went straight up. I couldn't find a good enough place to mount it to the frame right in the motor bay area. So I went up and under. There's a little hole. And let's see if I can, you can see it kind of going up through here. And then it just comes out and sits right there. And I zip tied it so it'll stay put. And that's where it's gonna live for now. So hopefully this video helped you guys. I wanted to say too, the one reason I didn't go with like the fueling vented dipstick is because you're not fixing the problem like you are with the Checkmate from Trask. You're kind of just rerouting the issues to your breather heads and the breather bolts, and it's not fixing it like it is with the M8. So, and it's just a big pain. If you need to check your oil or do anything like that, you got to make sure it's either cool or you're wearing heat resistant gloves, because they're like I believe they're aluminum, the vented dipsticks, and they're just kind of a mess. I mean, I'm not knocking the design or anything like that. It's just I didn't want to go that route. I wanted to just be one and done, set it and forget it type of deal. So we'll see how this works. Hopefully it alleviates 95% or better of the oil blow-by coming out of that. So with that said, guys, that's it. I appreciate you being here. You guys take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and we will catch you on the next one. I'm gonna get my bike put back together so I can go out and ride. Say bye, Malik. Say bye. Say see you later. He's lazy. He stole my spot. Oh, you noticed the camera. See you guys. Much love from Utah. Peace out. Bonk.
Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.